Hi guys, welcome to the Master Barber Shop. We're going to do something this evening that's not as intense as what we normally do. I don't have my uniform on. What we're going to be doing is something a little bit more relaxed. I'm going to show you about your machines, how to maintain your machines, and a few other little tricks in the shop. But what I'm going to start with at the moment is how to service your machines. Before I get into that, I want to show you a machine. And why I'm showing you this is, if you're in the game a long time, I could be boring you right now. But if you're a young guy that's just starting his apprenticeship or starting a barber's course, and girlfriend, mammy, daddy or somebody has bought you a machine, this is very, very important to you. When you buy your machine from Wall or whatever means you get it from, sometimes the teeth are knocked out of place because the machine is thrown around in the box and they don't leave the machine set for you to cut hair. Really, really important. When you buy your machine, I'm going to show you. You have two sets of teeth in it. You have your bottom row teeth and you have your top row teeth. This machine is how I got a machine a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to show you how it's set. It's set wrong. You can see where your teeth are coming along here and then they're overlapping your bottom teeth. Your top teeth never overlap your bottom teeth. If you get your machine like this, you're only a young lad, you're only getting started. This doesn't apply to barbers that are senior and you're working in a barber shop, so I don't mean to insult you with this information. This is just for young guys who are starting off. If your top teeth are overlapping your bottom teeth, what you'll do is you'll pull the customer's skin in and you'll cut them. Two things can happen with this. You can easily infect the customer because you're not sterilising your teeth properly. You're only causing damage and you'll piss the customer off. So try and not do that if you can. What we're going to do with this now is we're going to open it. And before I open it, I'm going to show you the tools you need. You need a tray of some sort. Why you need this tray is it holds your screws that you want to let your screws fall. You need 3 screwdrivers. Phillips screwdriver, a smaller Phillips screwdriver, and a pinted screwdriver. Some electrician can get in touch with him what the name of that is. I don't know what. Do you know what the name of that thing? Haven't got a clue. But I tell you what it is, lads. It's not a flathead, and it's not a Phillips. It's a pinty screwdriver. So I'm going to put these to one side. Your main screwdriver is to take off your teeth and service them. Your next screwdriver is to take your cover off, and I'm going to show you how to change your flex. But before I do that, this does not apply to senior barbers, so don't get annoyed at me and get in touch with me and say I'm wasting your time. Make sure your machine is plugged out. And I'm going to pause for a second after saying that. Make sure your machine is plugged out. Because when I served my time in Joe Kelly's, we started with the hand clippers. We didn't have electric machines. He asked me to clean out a machine for him and I didn't plug it out. And you can guess what happened. He had no lights in the shop for a couple of hours because of me. So what I'm going to do is right-handed, keep the machine on my left, screwdrivers in my right. If you're left-handed, go the opposite way. You have 2 screws. These 2 screws hold you have my silver tray that I showed you earlier on. Why I'm showing you the silver tray, I often let the screws fall on the ground. I'm not going to tell you when I've done it last because my boss man, Dean, might give out to me. It's not that long ago. It's only a couple of seconds ago. So screw 1 screw in, you can hear it dropping in. Your second screw in, you can hear that dropping in. Put down your screwdriver, take away your first main bottom teeth, and then you have your second one. They're there. What I like to do then is get an old brush. Don't get your neck brush that you brush off your customer's hair with, which is one of these. Don't ever clean your machine with that. Why you don't clean your machine with that is you're going to get oil on your machine or on your brush and you're going to dirty it. That's what makes your teeth go from side. So get your brush normally into a bin. This machine is clean obviously because I'm not going to show you a dirty machine. Brush it off, clean it, nice and clean. Never spray oil in it. You might think you're doing good by spraying oil in it. You don't have to, because in a few minutes I'm going to show you how to spray oil in your machine. It's just messy if you do it like that. That's clean. Put that back down and get your teeth and brush them and clean them and put them into a bin. Any hair that comes off it, do the same with the bottom teeth. When should you do this? You should do this maybe once a week. I like to have it done for the weekends because the weekend is the busiest in the shop. If you don't do it, all your hair, remember again, I'm just going to say this again because I'm conscious, really conscious of it. My machine is plugged out. If you don't clean out your machine, all your hair will pack in around there. That's your motor. If that really packs tight with hair, it's going to restrict this from going from side to side. And this has to go from side to side to move your top teeth. It doesn't move your bottom teeth. It moves your top teeth. I'm going to show you. That's your top teeth. So when you turn on your machine, that mechanism in the front will move and it goes from side to side. Your bottom teeth stays where it is. So when that goes from side to side, that's what it does. And that's what cuts your hair. Show you on the teeth as well. When I bought that machine, that's the way it was set. It's easier to show you like this. It's going to catch anything. Skin here is going to catch it. So when I set my teeth, I'm going to be like this. You should be able to get your pointed screwdriver and run it along the top without it coming off. If they're set wrong, I can't run it off it, see it? So set it back a bit that you can run your pointed screwdriver across. So I'm going to show you that now. Get my white wall machine, sit it in, finger and thumb, I'm going to hold it in place. Down my screwdriver. I'm then going to get my bottom razor and put it on there. 2 screws, holding it over the tray that I don't lose them because they're really short little stumpy screws. I'm going to tighten it in. Sometimes it's hard to get this in, so have patience. Have patience with me now as well because this is fighting against me. Why it's hard to get it in is that little mechanism that moves your blades, it's on a spring. So you can see it, it's on a spring. So sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get them screws in, but all they need is patience and you'll get them in. Tighten them, but not too tight because you're going to set your machine now. That's your machine cleaned out, but it's not your machine set. I normally look for a dark background so you can see your machines. I'm going to use the chair. And with my hands, I'm going to kind of push the razor into shape and screw it in. Show it to you now in a second. It looks awkward, but you'll get used to it in a few minutes. And it does take a few minutes. Even me, I'm at 30-something years. Hold it in place and tighten it. That's your machine set. It's actually fighting me, this one. And take your time, play around with it, but you have to get it set right. And I'll show it you now, said I'm happy with that there. Sometimes you move your screw, it'll move the head of your machine. It's just patience. Yeah, that's set nice. So what I've done is I've put my teeth back on. I'm happy with them. I have them set perfect. What I was saying to you earlier on about your screwdriver, which none of us know the name of it, you just run along the top and she stays on it. See it? Run along the top, and it's only really the width of your nail. I'd rather have it too far in here than overlapping. You won't cut anyone then. What we're going to do next is, this isn't really for beginners now, this is for lads later on in their trade and later on in their career. Robbie, my work colleague, hangs his machines like that on hooks. I don't. I'm going to show you in a few minutes the way I keep my machines. But all machines would break on the flex because of this. That bend on the flex. They'll all break there. You can buy this machine with a plug, and it's a sealed plug with your fuse in it. It's quite safe. It's legal. You're allowed to do it. You're covered on your insurance in your shop because you're buying it from a recommended source. From Wall, they'll supply the machine with all the safety mechanisms on it. So it's not that you're faulting with the machine or you're interfering with your machine. You're allowed to change flexes on these by law if they go. So we're going to pretend this flex went. What we do is put your machine back down. Smaller Phillips screwdriver. My tray is here. Tray is really important. There's 3 screws holding on the cover of your machine. 1 in the front and 2 in the back. We're going to go through the shop in a few minutes, but I want you to notice something that I'm working on now. This is a slate. It's left over from my house. We built a house a couple of years ago and I had slates left over. So we're working on a slate. I have a nice piece of timber and we're working on a slate. So always have your machine nice and high that you can work on it. Take off your cover. Leave your cover there. And this is the inside of the machine. What I was saying to you a few minutes ago, if you don't clean out your machine, all your hair is coming up through here. And I'm going to use my pipe screwdriver because I feel very important with this. All your hair is coming up through here and it's gathering around your motor. And that's what burns out your machines and that's what destroys your machines. This is your flex. It just slides into a slot. So when you get your new flex, it'll have your blue and your brown wire. And it's so easily done. All the taps and all will be on the top of your wires. You literally take out your wire there, your blue one, that pops out. Leave your orange wire, and down below it you'll have a brown wire with a screw in it. Unscrew that and pop out your brown wire. So with your new cord you'll have blue and brown. You leave your orange. Take that out, throw it away. Plug and all, throw it away. Bring your new flex, slide it into the slot. Bring your blue wire back up here. You can't get them wrong, lads, because your brown wire comes short and it has a screw in it, and your blue wire has a clip on it. So they do that in wall that you can't get the wires wrong. It's impossible to get them wrong. No matter what you do, you can't get it wrong. Put my blue wire in, screw in my brown wire, get my lid, put it back on. As easy as that. Putting it back on my little worktop. Put in your back screws and your front screw, and that is so easy to fix the flex on your machine. The flex I think is about €12. It's really small money. Your machine you could pay €100 for one of these machines. So a lot of people, the flex goes and they throw out the machine. They're not aware that you can actually change the flex. Screw that back on. Now obviously when you're servicing your machine, you don't have to change your flex unless your flex is broken. When your flex is broken, your machine will crackle. You'll hear it crackling. That's my machine cleaned out and serviced. So what I'm going to do now is plug it in. Because I've cleaned that machine and set my teeth, sometime when you plug it in, you get a kind of a real loud humming noise where your teeth are gripped together because there's no oil on it. So to prevent that, put in your machine, if I can get in a plug here. So that's my machine service. I've put a new flex on the machine. I've cleaned my teeth. I've reset them. I've remembered that the manufacturer is not going to care whether I cut anyone or not. Not that he wants me to cut someone, but I'm going to check the machine. It's my responsibility to check the teeth when I get the machine into my shop or any of my staff. It's your responsibility to make sure your machines are working properly. I don't want to turn it on yet until I spray some oil, because sometimes it makes a real loud noise because the teeth are gripping. So I'm going to spray a bit of oil across it. That's all I need. The oil back, and now I'm going to turn on the machine. Hopefully it'll work. There's the machine. Clean it then. And I always, with my machine, I'll just put my towel back. Thanks, Robbie, for the use of your towel. If it doesn't cut you, it's not going to cut anybody else. And that's your machine service. That's a little lesson on how to service your machine. I want to thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again at the Master Barber Shop. From Paul McGann, thank you very much.